So my name is Marcelo Quinta. I am very proud to be here the second time and in Novosibirsk. This time a little bit warmer, right? The title of my presentation is Android Support Libraries, when to use and when do not to use. It's a little bit strange. I know that's a little bit a clickbait title, but that was my goal, to bring all of you here. So success. But the goal here, I'm a professor in Brazil. I work to university. I am a Google developer expert in Android, Intel innovator. It's about software too, from Intel. And my goal here is to share some feelings. And for example, in I/O, Google used to talk about the new Android version. For example, this year was Android O. Oh, it was not Android Oreo, obviously, it was. But they talk about the new features in Android, new things that you can do in your new Android phone, your new Android version, and these cool things, right? But the point is, maybe I can make a little question here. Who here has the Android Oreo installed in your phone? Please raise your hand. Android O? Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rich people. Nice. The problem is that it's not a problem from Google, right? You have a lot of manufacturers. Android, it was built to be broad in different kind of phones, and sometimes it's hard to update. And the problem is, I'm a user, obviously, but I'm also a developer. Yes, we are engineers. And as an engineer, I have some problem to solve. And this is not a big problem, because its target 17 is not so bad. Some people I think we have a question here before in another talk, and then you have someone that's the target's like 14. I'm here with you. I know, because it hurts. Because we want to use the new APIs, the new things, and they're not there. But at least Google is working and working hard, and the community too, to help this kind of people, like everyone. And how they are helping? If the developers and Android support libraries. Which ones? Ooh, we have a full collection, wow, in the big one screen. Like V4, V13, V7, grid layout, app comp. Oh no, I will not read all of them, but design, custom tabs, percent, and so on. There's more than 15 libraries here to help us. It's hard to understand and to know every library that we can use in our app. And it's hard to know everything, obviously. But they are releasing since 2011, since in V4, and obviously updates for each one until today, right? V4, yes, one of the main ones, right? It's the main Android support library. And what the fuck, what is this? I know. At least I really tried to write on Russian. Obviously, I had some support, but the $1 million question is, do we really need to use the Android support library? Do you have someone here that doesn't use? No one? Okay. Obviously, yes. It's quite impossible, because you have like this. All of the versions update. You have some new things that you can use, and the response to this question would be, it's impossible. Almost yes. At least if you are working on maybe on Facebook, on Apple, or these big companies, maybe you can't use because it's from another company. Because as far as I know, Google engineers can't use the third-party libraries too. Nice. But okay. We use this a lot, but how can we use and make it better and how can we organize our test to don't be like my desktop, don't be like that thing, 6 layers of nightmare. And the question, and the response of the question could be, okay, we need each other. We need each other. We need the support library. The support library, or Google, need us, because otherwise there would be not good Android apps, and the operation system would be like, it's being recorded. So I could say it could be like bad thing. But anyway, we need each other. And we need to know how to explore it more, okay? Because it has, for example, the Android support library for design. Material design, everything on material design was on that. It was released in 2015. I remember when it was released because I used to put like 3, 4, 5 libraries just to, okay, floating action button, wow. But the biggest example is the menu, the hamburger menu, right? Used to use like, there was 3 or 4 different libraries. And when it switched the project, say, hey, what's the best library today to this hamburger menus? Oh, it's that one. Okay, I will use it. Then Google released this new version, so it's good. So if you need something or almost everything material design, it's there. So good, nice. Or seamless transitions. We are developers. Oh, we don't like transitions. No, we must like, because in material design is very, very important. Okay, how many designers we have here? Please raise your hand. 1, 2. Thanks. Please listen to these people. They're very important. And they used to say, we need transitions. We need to make motion here because it has some sense. So the transitions are in the libraries too. So we need to use them. They are there. Thank you, Google. Otherwise, I would need to implement by myself. Thanks. Or vector drawable. It's very, very important. For example, to me, as a Brazilian, I need to shrink the app size, right? Because people use a 3G or 4G that sucks. It's not good. So if I have a smaller APK, if I have my resources using different file formats, my app will be better in performance, in quality, on the screens, and also in the size. So it's very important. If you're not using, please transform your drawables, the ones that you can, to the vector drawables and add in your project. It's very important. It's in the Android support libraries, or in the preference screen. It's a different kind of library. That we can put like fragments to make preference, like the preference we have in our Android phone. It is a specific Android support library. Actually, it's a 26. It's available to you. So you can use to make these things easier, and we used to make it a lot, like in the preferences screen. Okay, if you don't know, please go there and use it. It's very good. And not finally, but constraint layout too. Constraint layout in the beginning was a little bit strange. I'm iOS developer too, so for me Android constraint layout is not so strange because it reminds me the iOS, and we can put like this little things there to make the components being related to another ones. By the way, it killed the Android support percent that the width or the height could be made by percentage. For example, 50%, 20%. Oh, I love that. Yes, it was killed. Because not killed exactly. Google puts this, okay, if you want to do that using constraint layout, okay? So Google just killed that, hey, use constraint layout. Now it's even better. I tried his in the beginning, and then, hey, constraint layout is it's buggy. I will wait. And after some time, I tried it again, and oh, it's working. So if you try before and saw that, okay, it's strange, not working, you can try it again. It's very, very, very good. And it's another Android support library. Great. And one very good news that we have in Google I/O is that all these support libraries are now into Google Maven's repository. That's very, very, very good because it's easily to update. We don't need exactly to, let's say, download the whole internet. But anyway, it's there. Okay. So if you want, for example, to try the new version of the support libraries, you need to put this on your main Gradle file, not the Gradle from your app, but your main from the project. So don't forget to put it there. And another thing that I always, because Gradle made a lot of things to us, right? But when I put my dependencies, I put this support, the version. I always put, where's the new version? Let me just put here. But I never stop it to understand why and what we have in each one. In blue, we have the name, app-compat. App-compat is the library name. Obviously, Marcelo, obviously. I'm not here to hear this. Okay, and the orange thing is like V7. This thing I learned that it was pretty strange. It's like min SDK supported. It's like we don't use it anymore. Don't trust on it. Okay. By the way, who here supports Android version 7? Wow. If you are doing that, I would like to give you some swags from Brazil. They have some paçoca here. But anyway, V7 or V4 or V21 or V13, there's a lot of them, right? Forget about it. It's like old style naming stuff, but it will be still there, okay? So it's the name and the version. Then the most important thing, if you're targeting Android 26, you must put 26 dot the version. So if it's why it's so important to change the target SDK version to the newest version, because if you target the newest SDK version, we can use the newest support library version. So 26 and dot finally the version of the support library. For example, 0.1. Okay. Now is I think the target SDK is 1.0 from the 26, right? Or real. And be organized. Don't be my desktop. Be more organized because you used to change or you used to add or remove some library that you are using. One thing I do is to put an extra script with the versions. For example, for the support library, they needs to be in the same version. Why? Because we are using the support library in general. Okay. So as it needs to be the same, create variable there and put the values 26.0.3. And as place services now is the same than Firebase, you need also to put the same. So you can put Firebase equals place services, then no problem. Okay. There's one thing that is different than this is that constraint layout. Constraint layout uses different version name. What? Yes, but it's good. At least it exists. In constraint layout, the actual version is 1.0 or 1.3. I'm not sure. But be organized. You can do this kind of script to make your build Gradle beautiful, at least better than my desktop. And another very important thing that, okay, Marcelo, we also need to put this in our projects because we are always over the limit of 65K methods, right? It's a very important library, multidex. Okay, we need to also put some extra configuration, multidex enable true. Okay, it's nice, but sometimes we need to make it even smaller, or think about how many methods are there. So many, and we can try with the Gradle script to check it. If you go to the Android Studio, you open the Gradle terminal and type /Gradle double app dependencies. If you put this on the console, the response will be like this. It's the whole tree of dependencies, and you can check you can exclude specifically some kind of part or some kind of package that you don't want to use. Or if you're using some extra library that uses some special version, you can do something like exclude some version from the library or from the support library. It's by you, okay? But this command is very important to me. I think one next step would be make it like graphically, because this is just a response from the terminal. Unfortunately, it's not a graphical interface that we can click and remove. Please remove. Okay, I'm lazy, so I would like to have something like this. And okay, we can exclude, but the goal from the Google is not exclude, it's to include, it's to give newer things, newer gifts for us. And they gave us, in this year, a lot of gifts. The first thing is that the news, I love this turtle, because they clean it a lot, the API. It's 1,400 less methods, so good. My goal is to be under 65K, it's good. And 30 classes and 400 interfaces deprecated. Why it was deprecated? I will talk about this in 1 minute. But they also released a new issue tracker and pull requests from community. What? How? It's because now you can send pull requests but to fixes, okay? Not to make it better or something like it. Not yet. Google used to list us as a community a lot. But anyway, if you found something strange or you can fix it and send a pull request. Nice to our LinkedIn, right? Oh, okay, I fixed something from Google. I think it would be important. But we have less methods and less interfaces because now the min SDK version is 14. So it's better. It's better because you can say to our manager, hey, we can't. No, you can't. You can't because the 25.3 is still giving Honeycomb support. Or if you're targeting this kind of devices, there is no problem, but obviously make a new branch because we can do more things to the newest Android versions, okay? One, for me, is the best thing. It's very simple, it's very small, but it's like a company or a group of people that they're trying to make our life less stressful. So remove this casting. It's good because they changed the method signature because now it's not like exactly a view, but everything that extends view. And using this diamond operator, it could be like better code. Oh, Marcelo, so this thing is better. It's make me feel less doing some less useless code. Yes, I agree with you. It's something that is new from the 26 version. I like it too. Another thing is that the text view now have different sizes. You can add like a text view that the size could be big or smaller. You can use these 4 properties like auto size text type. You can like the growing strategy, like uniform, and the min text size and max text size from 12 to 20, and the what will be the step, the growing step could be like 2 SP, for example, 12, 14, 60, or it could be like a vector. So you can create a vector and put your resources and make it follows that array of sizes. Okay, so it's good. It could be help us to make it. It's very important to tablets. If you are working on a tablet app, it could be very useful to you. But another thing that's useful to everyone is this. I don't know about you, but me before this, and I used to put always the same code from a class that I made that makes the same, a text view with a custom font. Now it's possible to add the font as a resources. I remember in I/O people like, amazing, amazing. Yes, because it makes us more fast doing stuff. Not like oh, okay, let's go again and do all of the code in Java to change the font. No, you don't need to do that. Just to set typeface and go on, and just add the font to the font package or font folder inside your app, inside the resources. Put the fonts there and go. Just go. You can also not only put in the code, but also put in the XML. Perfect. I don't need to do all of that jerry rigs to make it happen. It's simple, very simple thing, but very important. Another thing that you can do is to make you can create font families. Like, okay, I have some special font here, and regular and italic, and friends, don't let friends use Comic Sans. It's very important. And say that, okay, you have a text view, and text view you follow this font family, and your text style will be italic. It means that you use this last font, not the first font. So you can create like styling, like we have these, what we have two styles to style our components. We can make the same to the fonts. So last time, working with pixels. It's stressful work with pixels, right? So we can, yes, Martin say, yes, I know. I agree with you. Another very good thing about the fonts is that now you can use the downloadable fonts. Downloadable fonts, we can, for example, use the Google fonts or some external font. You just need to set the provider, put all the certificates there, the font name, and when the font arrives, you can use. Where's in my green code? Here I have the font face. I can set the font face in a specific text view or this kind of thing. And the good thing is that this font would be in like a cache that you can use. Different apps can use the same font, like the fonts contract. It's like a font provider from your suite of apps. You can use it. It's good. And in Android Studio, the new version, you can check the Google repository of fonts. They have a lot of fonts that you can use, and now it's open to everyone. So thank you Google, you helped me. For the ones that are working with the Android Wear, I already worked with Android Wear in the past. And it was a little bit tricky sometimes because you have different kind of devices sometimes, because the interaction is different. And Google released some new views, variable recycler view to the rounded fonts, box and set layout, and swipe dismiss frame layout, because it's a special layout with the button in the bottom. But to me, the most important thing is not exactly these components. For me, the most important thing here is that a lot of methods from the Android Wear UI, that is an Android support library, were deprecated. If you have an Android Wear app, look for the new implementations. They are better, and they were shrinked in a better set. Okay, so I opened my previous Android Wear project, and I saw a lot of difference that I need to make now, and it's okay. It's even better. They really leverage the Android Wear API. Another good thing, they do not talk it too much. They talk in the Google I/O this year, but we can use the preference data store. We have shared preference. We can store in our phone, or we can store the values in the Google Drives. Okay, the people Google Drive. Okay, it's nice, but sometimes we want to implement this this web thing, not in Google Drive, because I don't want to depend on Google Drive. I must control everything. So now you can implement your own preference data store. For example, I can implement the GDG Siberia.com implementation that when someone stores the data that you go to the web, go to some special server, you do not need to be on the Google Drive server from Google. It can be in my company. So if some person changes devices to a new one, just to, when she or he update everything, they will get the data from our server. Nice. It's better in this, is a shared preference, something that's more transparent and is very good to use. Let me put my TV here. So the link is here. I will share the presentation later. The whole team here for DevFest Siberia already have it. And the next ones are architecture components. These ones, like, whew, it's good because Google finally says, yes, this is good. This is how you think that Android app could be. Not could be, but we really trust on it. The first one is a story. I want to count a story. For that. It's me on Android Dev Summit 2015. Oops.
People say no because there's solutions out there.
Oops.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what we think too.
Shame on you, Marcelo. Shame on you. Because I really wanted that thing. And I don't know if it was because of me, but I think a lot of people like it too. And today I'm very happy because almost 2 days later, what we have? Room API. What is Room API? It's ORM to Android. Yes, thank you, Google. I can say now officially, thank you, Google. You listen to us and implement it. If you want to know about the user, don't ask it, try it and see what will be the response. And the response has been very good. Now we can make the entities with primary keys, columns, and a lot of things so much easier. I like it. We can even use the carries. The carries are compiled, so it's very good. We can really test them with less problems. So Room API is very good now. Florina in the last GDG said that we can use the pagination with our databases. So it's very, very good. And put the entities and well, now the Room database is too much simple. So you don't need to implement all those things by hand and etc. It's simpler, so I like it so much, and it's impossible. Don't say yes, Google. Thank you. Another good things in Android architecture components is life cycle. Now we have components that can follow the life cycle from the app or on resume, on pause, so it makes the codes like linear. Closer to what things works on mobile. We are very message driven, right? Things happens and then we need to do something, and the life cycle changes. So the life cycle API came to help us on that. Another thing is live data. If you implemented Google Maps, we know on pause, on stop, let's go. Start, okay. We need to check the whole life cycle of the activity, fragment, then all of those things from the Google Play services. Now if you leave data, for example, from Google Maps, we can use this. So it's very good. We just put on active, on inactive, and can implement with those listeners things more easier. It's easier to follow those changes with the mod or API that we are using and following all those things with the life cycle. So it's very good. And for the ones who likes MVVM, we have now the view model. So we can implement view model inside our activities with very less code. We also have a lot of good code here. We have talks here before. Okay, a bomb. But anyway, we can use the view model too. We have a lot of good code, but now we have at least official code to use. It's nice. I like it so much. There's just one takeaway. You need to pay attention to the life cycle. One more life cycle to understand, okay? But it's very important because anyway, if you're not using the Google's implementation, you could implement it your own by yourself. So at least it's one more feature to use. And if you see some bug, it's now that like we have the issue tracker. I'm Siberia. I have no fear. Better to send it to issue tracker. Yes, you can send some things to the Google's issue tracker. Is better. I used to send some issues that I found not only in the code but in the documentation too. So it's better, and I have good feedback about this, and thanks Google to make it better. And finally, some things that are missing or maybe not, but I mean just to open the discussion. If you really need to put this on the support libraries or not. When you think, what or which library I always need to put in my project? What? Yes, for example, retrofit. It's hard, but this is for emails, okay, but retrofit is a very good example. Retrofit that uses OKHTTP. Some people only use OKHTTP. But retrofit, I used to put always retrofit in my project. It's from support libraries. No. Should it be there? I don't know. Maybe it could be, but we always put there that it's very useful. So we need to share this kind of thing. Or to image loading, for example, Picasso, UI image loader, does Glide, Fresco from Facebook. We used to put one of these four, or maybe using retrofit with them. But anyway, some image loading. Okay, it could be important, but we are always putting this kind of library. For example, for image loading. Another one, Android MP charts is a very good library from community. I have a good experience with this. It's very good that it also works on Android Wear. So it's one of my, I like it so much because it's very beautiful. It's very well organized. If you need to put a chart, go there. Android MP charts is reliable. From community, you have my stamp there. Google took this after maybe I don't know if it's because of Jake Wharton or not. But Google embraced Dagger 2, and they make it better. I used to put Dagger 2 to help my tests. So if you're testing, I think Dagger 2 would help you on that because of you have things like context and dependency injection is very good to test what you really need to test without need to couple your code, your testing code. And first class log with Timber. Timber is on other library that I always put. I'm professor in university. Some projects there's a lot of students, beginners working, and I don't know if you had this experience before, but sometimes people forget to remove the logs. They don't debug, but they forget to remove the logs. And we saw something strange, and Timber used to help us a lot with that. Or something to end up with fragment issues. We are like, tired to see. It's very, very, very good today, and it's being even better every day. But I am also an iOS developer, and in iOS developer, UI view controllers, they can be nested and everything, and it works very, very beautiful. I like it. So if you know something about to end up with the fragment problem with the life cycle, let's talk. I can give you a paçoca. And if you want to know more, don't forget, it's in Portuguese, sorry. because I just took the link, but there's in English, maybe on Russian, I did not try it. But there's a page to talk about only these libraries. I think you need to go there. Marcelo, an experienced developer, go there and check, because maybe you can find something that you need that you are developing. And this is the actual Google I/O talk about Android support libraries. If you want to know more, go there. And that's it. Спасибо. I am very happy to be here. I'll be here until tomorrow. If you have any question, or if you want paçoca, I bring some paçoca from Brazil. It's a candy. So some folks here already tried it. So if you want to try, come here. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your speech. And the first question is about downloadable fonts. If I need some fonts in a very first launch, may I download these fonts with APK from Google Play? So when I download my APK and install, I am download font with it. Is it possible?
This is a very, very good question. Downloadable fonts give this opportunity to us to make our APK smaller, because we don't need to put the font there. So now it's possible to send no APKs, no font inside the APKs. So put a smaller APK in the Play Store, then download any font. You have the certificate. You can do everything with the font through the Play Store. As a developer, I don't need exactly to put the font there. I just need to implement or have access to the server to ask the font I need. I don't know if it's exactly the question.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, sorry.
The question was about another things. So when I started, I already downloaded my application, but I started to use it without any internet connection. So I have no font.
It's not available because I have no connection, right?
Yes. Is it possible to download it before the first launch?
The font will be not available, and as far as I know, I'm not sure, okay, but I think they use the default font. Just the default font in the device. Nowadays is Open Sans, I think, Robot.
But it's harmful.
Yes, I agree with you. But you can control the process, because as you have the methods to really understand when the font was really downloaded, you can at least control what will show or what will not show. You can at least control the process, not completely, because if you don't have the font, it could be something strange. But anyway, we have more options. Okay. I can check it later too.
Hey, I see you have pretty good prediction skills. What do you predict for the next Google I/O?
My prediction skills, yeah, you saw. Trust me. Next Google I/O. To next Google I/O, I would hope to see Google embracing Kotlin as the main language, not only Java, but translating, for example, all the Sport libraries or new libraries only to Kotlin, to make this thing like official. Because okay, it's official. We have the second language, but just to let's do more things with Kotlin and do more things like in architecture. This is a step on Google to using Android architecture components. It seems like, okay, it's not important, but to a company, I think it's very important, because they are saying, hey, we believe that this architecture could be good, or you can maybe use this architecture. If you're saying that maybe it could be good, they are saying something. So it's a very important step. If we have more things about architecture in general and investing in Kotlin, I think it could be good. I don't have like a big prediction about it, but I think as a developer, if you have more Kotlin support, or if I could see something like, we have a project that was launched this year, but if you could have something, my biggest desire would be make the Android updates on the phones really easier. iOS 11 was released last week, right? We have iPhone 5S from 2013 that was updated. Which Android phones from 2013 could have the Android O?
Zero of them.
Zero. I think it's zero, but could be one thing that, not the prediction, but ask for, hey Google, please do that. I have an old phone with Android 6 in my hands, in my pocket. More questions? No. Thank you so much. If you need some paçoca, I have some paçocas here. I'll be here tomorrow, so I'm here to talk and have some experience with you. I spent 2 days to come, and I will spend 2 days to 2 days to come here and 2 days to come back. 4 days traveling and 2 days here. Please make my day here. Okay, let's talk. Thanks.